Hey, hopefully y'all come back, but when you do, let me know if you can hear me. Let's see. Because I remember one time it's like I was on here, but I wasn't on YouTube, and I'm not sure how that works. Um, okay, so I think I'm live. Let me see. Um, I'm not. I can't even tell. Oh wait, hold on. Uh, okay, you can hear me. Okay, okay. Because I was thinking maybe there's still something else I had to do on YouTube because I'm new to this. So let me share the link. Um um okay, here we go. And maybe if I did this more often then I wouldn't be so lost. But um there's the link. Yeah, so I'm not saying I have any regrets. I think I'm still at that point where it's like it could go either way. Um, because like, okay, if I don't get started soon, then I am gonna be past like, the age of having kids. Even though I have a cousin that a few years ago she had a baby and she was 43 and she had a few kids before that. So but that was her most recent kid. I don't know if she's done or not. I guess she's about, I don't know, maybe 45, 46 now. It's hard to remember because she always looked younger than her age. Um but then I also have a cousin. She's my second cousin. She's actually my mom's cousin, but she had a baby and she was over the age of 50, which is, crazy. And she actually got married. Like she she has a daughter that recently had a baby. Well, not recently, but like in the past few years. So her child is actually younger than her daughter's child. Um, and that's kind of crazy because I remember when um she was about maybe 18, and I remember when she was pregnant because I remember my mom telling me that she was having a baby, and she mentioned, she was like, oh, auntie so and so wasn't happy about it, she's not really too happy about it, blah blah. But fast forward, you know over 20 years, and that girl is married with a child of her own. And my cousin, or second cousin, she wasn't, I don't know who she was dating. I think she was in some relationship and the person was like abusive. I don't know. I'm sure she dated a bunch of people. But eventually, my point is, eventually she ended up getting married after, like, over the age of 50, and had another baby. Let me see. Yeah. So you know, I think with Black women, you probably have like a longer window of being able to have a kid. I'm guessing, probably. I don't know. I don't know if that's a real thing or if I'm just making shit up. So, but my point is, it could. I think for me, it could still go either way. Like, let's just say hypothetically, like tomorrow, I meet somebody decent, and like after a year or so, we get married and have some kids, or I might get to the point where it's like, well, hey, well, maybe I'm not going to meet anybody that's decent, or but I still want to have a kid and just decide to have a kid, right? I don't foresee myself doing that, but that's kind of like what I'm getting at. um yeah. which is outside of how the marriage actually ends up or turns out, is it still an experience that had value, and that you don't necessarily regret, and that you did get something out of, even if that's something is the children only. I don't want to say just the kids, as if, because that's kind of the main thing, right? Okay. All right. Hey, Brownie.
Hey Chaco, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. This is something that had just kind of been on my mind recently, but well, not recently, maybe a couple years ago I had thought about it. And I was thinking like of the fact that, hey, well, I'm such and such an age, right? And I don't have any kids yet. So I mean, not saying I want to have kids, but at a certain point when I was younger, I just thought I would, by now. But married and have kids. But so, but then I think about my cousins and I'm like, well, damn, like pretty much all my cousins that got married got divorced, on my mom's side. None of them are still married, like to their original partner, except for my brother. But my brother just got married last year. So, but then I think, okay, but they all have kids. My girl cousin, she had
Can you hear my
4.
background?
Huh?
I'm sorry. So can you hear my background? Is it like
You kind of no, you kind of choppy, but I don't hear you.
I'm about to leave this hotel.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, so but then I think my cousins, they have children. So like my oldest cousin, that she had a baby. Well, she had one kid when she was in college, ended up marrying a guy. They ended up having 2 kids. She got divorced. The second guy she was married to, they had 1 kid, and then she ended up having another kid. They got divorced and she ended up having another kid later. So when I think about it, I'm like, okay, that's kind of wild. But at the same time, it's really not. And I feel like, oh, okay, let me see. Echo cancellation. Echo cancellation. How do I do that, Candy? I don't know how to do nothing. She said she was leaving the hotel, so I don't know if it was
Yeah,
a
you don't
thing
gotta
with
fix it.
that.
I'm literally on my way.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Um, and then okay, so then my oldest guy cousin, he had 3 kids with his ex-wife. They were divorced for quite a while, and he got married again. They had another baby. Well, they had a baby. He had a baby with his new wife. Um, one of my cousins, she had a baby when she was young. I don't know how young, probably like college age. And she ended up marrying somebody when her daughter was about 10. I guess they got divorced a few years ago, but she had like maybe 2 more kids since then. So that's why I think of it as kind of like a double-edged sword, or yeah, kind of like a double-edged sword, because hey, oh, look what my grandmother said. It hurts her heart, because my grandmother, she's real religious, but she said it hurts her heart to see all her grandkids getting divorced. But I'm thinking things are different now. Um, things are just different now. Everybody has more options. Women are more independent. Um, people ain't really putting up with, I guess, bullshit like they used to, and I guess men ain't sticking around like they used to, right? So um when you think about it like that, I mean, yeah, things are different from how they were back then, because obviously women weren't just picking up and leaving like that back in the day. And by my grandmother being religious, I guess she feels like, hey, people are not really taking it seriously. But beyond that, that's the climate that we're in. So um that leads me to wonder, okay, so yeah, all these people are getting divorced, but they do all have kids. Their kids are, well, some of them, their kids are older now. My brother's still having kids. So um so how can you say it would have been better for them to not have been with those people just because of the fact that they didn't work out? Because if they hadn't been together, then they would have not, had all those years together, I'm gonna just give them a credit and say some of them were good years, and they would not have their children. And so I think about it like, is that just part of being an adult? Is that part of being an adult? Just acknowledging that things aren't gonna always work out, and just that's just that's just the byproduct of living life. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
So I think that every relationship, especially relationships where you spend an extended time in, those matter. And not everybody divorces and just hates each other's guts. So some people, they divorce for different reasons. And to be able to divorce and be able to leave and still respect that person and still care for that person, that's it don't always have to take the turn of where you hate that person. A person can be, you can still acknowledge that somebody is a good person even though they're not necessarily the best for you.
Yeah, I heard everything you said, but your mic is still doing that little thing. The little thing. I don't know if there's a way.
Let me restart StreamYard.
Okay.
Or hold on. Let me turn my Bluetooth off. Wait, it is off. Let me leave and come back real quick.
Okay. All
right.
Yeah, so I think, and like I said, I'm not saying I have any regrets. I don't, but put it like this. You know how they talk about your risk appetite, right? Risk appetite, meaning that, let's just say if you are, I don't want to say gambling, but let's just say you're playing the stock market. I don't know if it's called playing, but whatever you do, if you only put up a little money, if you don't put up any money, you can't lose any money, but you're not going to gain any money either, right? If you put out a little money, you can lose all of that, but there's also a chance that, you'll break even or that you'll end up with more. And by that same token, if you can, okay, you're muted, but by that same token, let's just say you put up a lot of money. Yeah, you can lose a lot of money, but you can also break even, or you can also end up with a lot. So I kind of think of it like that. Like, have my sister and I and my little brother, have we been too cautious, And I'm not saying that, I guess when you see everybody else doing something, it kind of feels like, okay, was that what I'm supposed to be doing? You know what I mean? But let's just say my younger brother, he doesn't have any kids, and he has to be about, he's in his, anyway, I don't want to give myself away. Even though somebody on here already exposed my age, but my point is, he doesn't have any kids, and he's an eligible guy, but he's not out here, like that. He's careful. Let me just put it like that. He's careful. Like, it was awkward one time. He went in his glove box to get something, and like so many condoms fell out that thing, and I was just sitting there like, okay, but I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right? So anyway, but then I look at my older brother. He had 2 kids with somebody, and they were together for a while, but it seemed like as soon as they had these 2 kids, they broke up like right after that. The kids were still like young, but then didn't have any kids for a while. Then when his kids were over the age of 10, like maybe over the age of 12, he met somebody else and then had a child with her. Then he had another child right afterwards. And then they got married, and immediately after, the 3rd child, and now they're about to have another one. So, of course there can be a middle ground. But like my mom, like I was saying, my mom, what she always would tell me and my sister is, nothing's going to be perfect. Like, you can't necessarily wait for life to be perfect. That's not how life works. Like, you think you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to be in the perfect place in my career. Oh, I'm going to meet the perfect guy. He's going to have the perfect job. And, he's going to just be the best guy. And we're just going to, you know what I mean? We're going to live a perfect life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll be waiting
Because like,
forever.
and I'm gonna shut up real soon because I can talk. But let me say one more thing. Because
Do my
like
mic
for
sound
instance,
better?
yes, oh yeah, you sound
Okay.
good now. But like for instance, the last person that I really dated, you know, for like a long period of time, I feel that he's a narc, right? And he's to me he's insufferable. Like I would never put up with him at all. But my mom, she's like, oh well, he seemed like a nice guy to me. Oh well, he knows how to be nice when he's being nice. Oh, and he likes to cook and all that. And oh, you know, he got a good job, he got a good career and all that. So that's how she's looking at it. She's like, okay, every man is going to give you problems, you know? Every man is going to give you problems. So why would you disqualify somebody just based on basically being a man? You see what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
gonna be quiet now, but go ahead.
I think um, when it comes down to it, it's just about how much both people or both parties are invested into a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You see, my grandmother, she's been married for an extremely long period of time, my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
like a long time, and she, I, I remember when I was 18, I was breaking up with my ex,
Mm-hmm.
and I was telling him I didn't want to be with him no more because he was cheating.
When you say
And
your ex, you mean the father of your child or a
no,
different
no, no,
ex?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no, no. A different ex.
Okay.
And when I was breaking up with him, I told my grandma, even with the father of my child, when we broke up, like, and I came back home, and I
Mm-hmm.
talked to my grandmother, and I told her, I'm like, you know, like I broke up because he was cheating and he was lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't say like,
Right.
oh, well, you should have stayed. Like, no, she supported me not going through that.
Okay. All right. I thought you were gonna say the opposite, but okay.
And my grandma is very religious. She's
Mm-hmm.
a minister. Like, she's
Yeah.
literally a minister. And when I was telling her, like, I guess for everybody else, like, people, my family couldn't like see why I would respond to him, and they would say that I was being mean to him, and I would
Mm-hmm.
never throw him under the bus. I'm not the type where like something happened and I just hit up the family group chat.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of things happened where I wasn't, coming out and saying to or seeking help or seeking, and a part of that was like embarrassment on me and shame on me because I felt so like, oh, like this isn't supposed to happen, or oh, I'm just supposed to like, put up with this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you were super young and not married, so
well,
yeah.
well, no, I'm talking about I'm talking about BD now.
Okay, okay.
So even with him, like, it was like, okay, like I was always trying to like make him look the best. Like, I feel like,
Yeah, I see what you're
for
saying.
to be with a person, to be, the wife of a man, you want to
Mm-hmm.
make him look like he's the like I tell people
Yeah.
like my man, he the fucking best. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like like he better than you and you, and he's the best. And that's just my mindset. So with how I am, I always uplifted him. I always made
Uh-huh.
him seem stronger and
Yeah.
better and smarter and all of those things. And I would never go and highlight his negatives. Like, I'm not gonna go and tell my family that you was cheating on me multiple
Mm-hmm.
times. Like, no, I'm gonna tell them how you just got this job
Mm-hmm.
and all the good things that happened. And I ended up
Mm-hmm.
going through that alone. And when it came to the point where I couldn't tolerate it no more, and I broke up with him,
Mm-hmm.
at first my family was like, they were confused because they were so used to seeing me put him on a pedestal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I to this day I won't speak badly about him because he's not a bad person,
Right.
but he was a bad person to be with.
Yeah, I will say you better than me. But
And like to this day, like literally to this day, I got his debit card in my purse. Like
mhm,
he gave me his debit card just
mhm,
so if I needed anything while I'm
yeah,
out, or if like I don't,
yeah,
or whatever, like if something happens, I can be able to take care of what
yeah.
I need to be able to take
And
care of. Like, so he's not a bad person,
right, right.
but he's a bad person to be with.
I know what you mean because even though I might like talk shit about several of my exes, right? But let's just say this particular guy. I'm gonna tell you all day that he's a narc, and it's like the same issues that we had when we were like together at the beginning. He's still the same way. Like he's I guess he's never gonna change. You know, I don't know if you can change being a narc, but at the same time, I know certain stuff he's not gonna do, certain stuff he is gonna do. Whereas some guys are just complete and total pieces of shit, you know? But I think that comes with kind of like vetting. You can't make sure that somebody is perfect because every guy is gonna have a trick bag, right? But I think
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like you said, when it comes down to taking care of you and taking care of his child, you know, he's gonna have his faults, but at the same time,
Those are
he's
not things
still,
that he's gonna fold on. Like
yeah,
those,
yeah.
like him being like me being with a man. I always and to this day, I always want to be with a man that has good father attributes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Right.
mean that like I need you to raise me because I got my own dad. Like,
Uh-huh.
but I mean that in as far as caring, as far as being patient, as far those things, those qualities, those are what matter to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and with him, like he's an amazing father, like amazing father.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is a
Yep.
cheater, he just liar. Like, and he ain't gonna cheat on
Yeah.
me and lie to me
Sound like
forever.
my brother.
And for a while, I was going through like as a woman. That's how I ended up in this raggedy ass space, anyways. As a
Mm-hmm.
woman, I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, and I think that's the thing that goes through us. Like, we're doing everything that like I'm like maybe I'm not doing enough. I'm over here, I'm a housewife, I'm cooking,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of the
Mm-hmm.
baby. He got meals cooked from scratch. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding out he cheating on me, and the next day getting his clothes ready for work and
Mm-hmm.
making sure he looked
Yeah.
good. And it's like
That's what I'm
at
saying.
work,
I don't think you know what.
you
That's why I
have
be like,
to
you know
like
what?
you have to have enough patience to go through that, but then you
Uh-huh.
have to have enough backbone to not let somebody walk over you and to actually stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was because I'm with you, I respect you. And I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to be with you if I don't respect you. And at a
Mm-hmm.
certain point, I just lost respect for
Mm-hmm.
him because of his actions. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not something he can ever like, that's not something he can just like, gain back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so once I end up spazzing out on you, like, and I don't respect you. Because through all the times where he was doing things, I was like biting my tongue, and instead of like going off, I would be like, let me talk to him, like, let me see what's
Mm-hmm.
wrong, let me approach it differently. And then it
Yeah.
got to the point where like I'm trying to approach things differently and with my best mind, and you're being like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally told him one day, like, maybe like, is it like, is the way that I approach you a problem? Like, do you not respect me because I'm talking to you instead of cussing you out and disrespecting you? Do you
Mm-hmm.
need me to cuss you out and disrespect you? Like, and I was like, like I came to the conclusion, like that's what you need, and that's never what I'll give you. So I just need
Oh,
to remove
really?
myself.
You know what? I don't even think that wouldn't have done it.
No, but
Um.
that would have. But a lot of men, they go through and they have mothers and they deal with women that cuss them out, that'll drag them, that'll treat them disrespectfully. So that's what they get used to. And that's what they
Mm-hmm.
get conditioned to responding to. So when you bring positivity and femininity and niceness into their life, they run and they take advantage of it because they never had it before. So
Yeah.
they don't.
I,
So
yeah.
they almost expect you and almost don't know how to respond to anything else other than that. And it's like I'm not that. Like I'm never going to be able to to do that ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, and if I was, I wouldn't be with you. So now I
Mm.
had to separate myself from you because that's not the woman that I want to be.
Yeah, you maintained your ladylike, demeanor. Cause yeah, I be, yeah.
But I had to come up with that conclusion before I destroy the relationship in the interaction that we do have, because just because you break up, especially when you have kids, don't mean the relationship stopped. So that don't mean you don't have to stop dealing with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to cut it off before we got to the point where I was like, he was gonna see a whole new Ellie. Like he was gonna see the Ellie before he met me. Like
Mm-hmm. That
and I had
brought
to
to
cut
mind.
him off
Oh, I'm
before he
sorry.
got
Go
to
ahead.
that point.
Okay, that's
And I had to cut him off before I got to that point. And then
yeah.
from there, like now we're able to work, we're able to do things and get things done on a non-romantic level. And he respects me enough, and he respects me enough as a woman to, do
Yeah.
what he needs to do and not approach me in certain manners.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what that reminds me of? That saying, a lady knows when to leave. You heard that before?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. And I think that could be applied in a whole lot of situations. Hey Zero, good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. But I think that could be applied to a bunch of situations where that could be like a relationship with a friend, or that could be like with a job, with anything. Kind of like seeing the signs or seeing the writing on the wall, and then just taking your leave before it has to go there. Because I think my thing is where I kind of go wrong is um I kind of like make sure, you know what I mean? It's like instead of me just like um I guess I try to give the benefit of the doubt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
it's
think
like,
we all do as women. Like,
yeah, and I guess I try to be sure that like it can't be salvaged. Do you know what I mean? And then at that point, it's like, okay, well, I see that, it's not, I can see there's nothing here. So then I can move on, right? But I think I kind of let it go too far until I come to that conclusion.
you know what that's called?
What?
It's called the sunken
Sunk
cost.
cost fallacy.
Yes, I learned that when
Girl,
I was studying stocks, and
but you're studying what?
when I was studying stocks,
Oh, stocks. Okay. Yeah,
and I
I'm gonna
learned
say,
that because it involved investments. So like it involves
yeah,
investing your time, and you get so hooked on the time that you get invested that you don't
yeah. But guess what?
know when to pull out, and you'll continue to ride the wave all the way down to the ground without ever pulling out, just because of the time
Yeah.
that
Well,
and the time and the energy that you dedicated
I
to.
hear you, but you know what? I think it's something else. But let me tell you, I know all about the sunk cost fallacy, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, uh, but I think it's more like I don't think it's a sunk cost fallacy. I just think it's more like I mean I kind of see that, but I think it's more like not knowing what's on the other side of the door. You know what I mean? Because it's like, let's just say the door is closed and you're like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure there's nothing in there,
But
um
that's the same. It ties into the same mentality because right here is good. It ties into the same mentality because it ties into that you can never do any, or it's a rare chance that you would do better. Or like somebody
yeah,
told me, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Oh,
yeah, kind of it, but this I
thank
think
you. My bad.
I
Sorry, I was
think
getting out the Uber.
I would more so describe it as, well, yeah, no, you know what? I see what you're saying. Because I was gonna say I would more so describe it as maybe not throwing away a good thing or potentially good thing. But but that can be toxic because that means like, let's just imagine you were driving and you wouldn't wear your tire down to the fucking rims. No, you're
Yeah,
gonna, once it gets like, after a certain amount of time or whatever, you get new tires. You're not gonna drive it till the wheels literally fall off, or you're not gonna drive your car until you run out of gas. You see what I'm saying? But I think
exactly.
that I have a habit of letting shit go on too long, and letting it get really bad. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I think what you did in your situation is you stepped away once you saw, um, like, okay, I don't think that this is gonna work out without me losing my sanity, my decency, my self-respect, things like that, you know, and you stepped away. And you know what? I don't think I don't know. It's hard to imagine. But let's just say I feel like you, even though you had a way more invested, you know, by having a child with him and having lived with him and stuff like that, you still were able to like pull yourself away from it and not just like, I guess, keep fighting for it, or just making sure like, okay, let me just make 100% sure this guy is actually a piece of shit, you know, and then,
Girl, I found out he was cheating before I got pregnant. Like
oh,
literally weeks before I got
well,
pregnant. And then I found
okay.
out that I had the baby. And then I was like, we can move and we can have a baby and we can have a fresh start. And that
Yeah.
didn't work. And then
Yeah,
I was
you know
like,
what? Honestly,
we can
I don't think I could do that. I would be so turned off, like just the idea. And then I'm crazy. Like
well,
I'm
that's
crazy. So
I didn't
wait.
when it happened, okay, so we was 4 years. We was like 4.5 years when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found out that I was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was excited to have a baby. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we were 4 years in.
Mm-hmm.
We was 4 years in. We was 4.5 years in when I found out
Mm-hmm.
he was cheating too. So I thought that him as a man and me, like we were living together for 2-3 years at this point. Like we
Mm-hmm.
were together all the time.
Yeah.
And I thought at that point that, he would say, okay, I got this baby coming. We got family. We're going to focus. And he didn't. And what
Mm-hmm.
happened was it started to affect my health.
Uh-huh. And see, me, I'm the type of person, I would have crashed out in me. I would have crashed and burned like immediately. It would have been no, you know, I know I just said like I like to kind of like feel things out and make sure, but that's kind of like, that's something where I would have made his ass break up with me, because I would have become the baby mama from hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know like certain stuff I can deal with, certain stuff I can't deal with, and I think a lot of times that's why now, like that I'm older, when I see a situation, I am more likely to just back away, because I'm like, you know what, it's not even worth it. You know, like
But see,
it's
being a
not even
baby
worth
mama
it.
from hell don't solve nothing. It don't
You
make it
right.
easier for the child.
That's true.
So, like I said, I date and I be with men that are good fathers.
Yeah.
So at the essence, both of our morals are aligned to if we have a child, that child and their happiness and safety and comfortability
Mm-hmm.
is the most important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that
So
takes.
you gotta, and dealing with men do shit. Like women do shit. Like people do things in
Yeah.
relationships. Like, and that's a part of you understanding that you don't own somebody. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, oh, like I would expect you to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But after I'm like asking you and I'm coming to you with sense and I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to building with you and you're showing me that you don't have those intentions because you're continuing to make your choices that are
Mm-hmm.
not adverse to our relationship. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, like this isn't gonna work. And like I said, for me, it was affecting my health.
Mm-hmm.
Like like this year, this past calendar year,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't fainted at all.
Oh Lord.
I used to literally have anxiety attacks
Yeah.
where I will work myself up over the course of a couple of days to where I
Yeah.
would faint and like literally black out.
Just you are anxious in general, or specifically about him?
And like it tied into my anxiety
Yeah.
altogether. So
Yeah.
like at one point I was scared to leave out my house. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
have um dreams of like I would have social anxiety. So I didn't like
Yeah.
going to grocery stores. I wouldn't go to grocery stores or anything unless he was with me because that's
Mm-hmm.
how anxious I
Yeah.
was. And it a part of my anxiety, a large part of my anxiety was coming from him.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I would pass out. Like I'm talking about like I'm walking, I'm sitting down. Like let's say like we sitting down and we chilling at the kitchen table. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, like I feel faint and I gotta get
Yeah.
up and lay down on the couch so I don't
Yeah.
pass
You know
out.
what? That has
Or
happened.
I gotta get up or I gotta go pee. And
Yeah.
by the time I make it to the bathroom, I'm sitting on the floor calling for him to come
That,
bring me back to the bed because I'm about to pass out and I
that
never went to go pee.
yeah, that has happened to me. I never passed out, but actually one time it could have been the medicine I was taking. I don't know. But one time, and I don't know. I really don't. It was weird, but I almost passed out one time. But and I was anxious during that time because I had started a new job and just had a lot on my mind. Um, but I got up from my computer, in my little home office. I walked to my room and it was like I kind of, it's like I got right in the door and it's like I kind of fell. It's like I literally hit my head on the dresser. And then I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to lay down. And I laid down for a few minutes. And my brother, he happened to be in town because something was going on, like some kind of storm was going on in New Orleans. And I was like, I literally almost passed out. Like the sound was me hitting my head on the dresser and I knocked some stuff down. But I don't know. It could be anxiety, it could be medication, anything. I don't know. But now I feel like, oh, I remember what I was gonna say. What you were saying, as far as like that kind of gets to the heart of what I was talking about, which is like taking the bad along with the good, you know what I mean? Or not expecting, because you said like men are gonna do things because like
No, I said, hold on, I corrected. I said people because that's not just
people,
men. Like
people,
women that we do things in relationship to. So you
right?
can have a man that's there, and it does. The inverse happens too, where you have that man that's there and present in the relationship, and you got the
Mm-hmm.
woman that's, you know,
Yeah.
doing shit. So people, you can't trust 100% in people to not be humans. Like we're all humans at the end of the day,
Right.
and
Right.
humans are going to do humanistic shit.
Mm-hmm. But
But
see,
it's how you respond to the humanistic shit that you do, especially when you know that it's adverse and
uh,
affecting the person that you love and you supposed to care about the wrong way.
so but that leads me to think, how much have we actually changed? Because I look at it and think that we have changed a lot just because the marriage rate has gone down so much. And it I just think there are a lot more non-traditional situations. But when you think about it, like I said, my grandmother said it hurts her heart. She put her hand on her chest. She said it hurts my heart to see all my grandchildren getting divorced. So, but the thing is, like my grandfather, he's been dead for a while, but he was not a walk in the park. That's all I'm gonna say. Like he was not a day at the beach. That's all I'm gonna say, right? But my grandmother stood by him. So
But you know
I
what the
feel like,
difference was back
uh huh,
then to now?
uh
The
huh,
sense of community and even the sense of community within women. To answer
hmm,
your grandmother, you said she was religious, so she
yeah,
was probably with church and
yeah,
she was probably with other women
hmm,
to give her that support to get
hmm,
through some of those things that she might have
yeah,
been going through with your grandfather.
yeah,
Whereas like somebody like me, I didn't have that. Like my significant other is that person that I lean on. So
hmm,
now that you that person that I lean on, and you're also that person that's causing that is like my mental issues, like
hmm, yeah,
where
hmm,
like I don't know where to go from here because you're my confidant. Versus like I
yeah,
said, like your grandma, she was probably in church. She
hmm,
she had a sense
a
of
whole
community
bunch of
already
spiritual
between
stuff.
other women.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
between other women that were in marriages and at different levels of marriage to talk to her and give her
hmm,
that support. And I feel like that's what's missing these days. Like
um, and you know what? I never thought about it from that angle. I always think about it from the angle of, um, men having more options and women having lower standards, but I haven't given it that much thought as far as like people are just not putting up with that much these days. Like I hadn't given it that much thought from that side. Um, um, but it reminds me of what my mom said. She, because she kind of put it to, she basically was kind of, what am I trying to say? It seemed like she could see it both ways because she always says, well, they don't have no more men like your daddy. And she said, and he wasn't perfect. He was bad enough. You know what I mean? So she's saying basically times are not like they used to, but at the same time, I think women these days aren't putting up with the same stuff. Hopefully, that women used to put up with in the past. I'm thinking
But
that's
not every woman put up with that stuff. Like people be missing the stories about how people grandmas was poisoning and murking dudes and moving to different states.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was to a certain extent. I don't think my grandmother would have stayed with my granddad if he was just constantly disrespecting her.
Yeah,
I think she would. I think her as a woman, and even with her being a woman in faith, she would walk away from a situation like that. But he hasn't done that to her, and if that because I've had older women, like even when I talked about my first ex cheating on me and how he had me ask my grandma what she had left my granddad. His same mama was telling me like, I had men cheat on me and get married on me and have babies on me.
Lord.
Like, you a dumb bitch.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Because no woman in my family and no woman that's in that I came from would put up with that. My grandma wouldn't put up with my granddad having an outside kid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she wouldn't tell us to put up with that. She wouldn't put up with us, like she wouldn't put up with being a side chick or encouraging us to be a side chick.
Yeah, and they did have a lot of that going on. Or at least we hear about a lot of that having gone on back in the day. But my grandmother on my daddy's side, she was actually divorced from my granddad, and I didn't even know, like, because he died young. He died when he was like 36 or 38. That was a while ago, but I ain't find out till she died. Like it was in her like obituary, and I was like, wait, I never knew she had divorced. But yeah, he was in the military, and she went back to New Orleans and took the kids with her. I never knew that. Like I never knew that, So not everybody was putting up with it, but.
Yeah, just like because some of y'all grandmas was hoes. I mean, my grandma was.
Yeah, not my grandmas. No. I got no hoes in my family. I can say that confidently. But yeah, but okay, why? I need to take some vitamin D. I'm always forgetting what the fuck I was about to say.
But I don't think that we should put it on women, and I think that we should put it on people, and we should encourage the benefits of marriage.
I remember what I was about to say, and this is what made me okay, so what kind of made me think about it was Rogue C. She had a panel. It was her first live, and they were talking about marriage, and they were basically, the topic was kind of like having a child and then dating somebody else, while having a child, and like that person's role and stuff like that. And for a second they were kind of getting on that topic, but then they kind of had got away from the topic, so I want to like change the subject, so I just jumped down, so I never say nothing. But that's what I wanted to ask, like, well, not that, but I wanted to ask, let's just say, for example, you at your age now, I don't know how old you are. I think you're like going on 30. Yeah, it hurts my
close enough.
Yeah. Okay, so like let's just say me. Let's just say
I'm 31. Like, you
oh,
talking
okay,
about me?
okay. Okay. So let's just say I'm a few years older than you, right? Okay, so I don't have kids. And this is the thing. You can look at having kids in a good way, or you can look at it in a bad way, or you can look at not having kids in a good way or looking at it in a bad way. Because like let's just say, for example, right? um People might look at it like, oh well, you know, you don't have no kids, you can do what you want to do, you can spend your money on yourself, blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, at a certain point, it's like as an adult, you're like not supposed to have kids. I don't want to say that because nobody has to do that. I'm not talking about like gender roles or like society's expectations or anything like that. But at a certain, what I'm saying is, at a certain point, what you're missing out on might be more than what you've gained. You see what I mean? You see
Yeah.
what I mean? And whereas like the typical life is you're gonna have, trust me, I've had my own bumps and bruises. So don't, I'm not trying to say I haven't. But what I'm saying is the typical life is you're gonna have ups and downs, you're gonna have bumps and bruises. Things are gonna happen that are unexpected. But the end result is gonna be something hopefully that you're happy with, right? So what I'm saying is because well, I'm not gonna say because I was like, I'm just gonna say, okay, me and my sister not having kids, my little brother not having kids. It's a good thing up to a certain point, up to a certain age. And like at what age is it not really a good thing anymore? At what age is it not really something to brag about anymore? You see what I mean? Because like I see friends, you know, that have kids that are graduating from high school. And I mean, I think that's a little bit too, you know, that means they were a little too young when they had the kid. But at the same time, like, okay, well, what if I had a kid that was like 10, you know? At what point is it not really, at what point where is it not, I don't know, weird, I guess. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, because let's just say if I say, well, I definitely don't want to have kids. I'm not saying I do want to have kids, but what I'm saying is, at what point have you missed out on more than what you gained? Because my cousin, like me and her both have do the same type of job. I'm just saying we both do the same type of job. She's been doing it way longer than I have, so she made good money. And that's why I was like, you know, even though she been married twice, divorced twice, and then she have another child after that, it's kind of like you can't really say shit about her because she got her shit together, you know. So it's like she could do what she wants to do as far as, you know, as far as that, she got her shit together. She's a grown ass woman. So therefore it's like, why, even if she's not with any of those people, I don't know if she's still with the last guy or not, but let's just say she wasn't with any of those people anymore. Does it matter? Because it's like, okay, she's still gonna have her kids. You know what I mean? One of her kids, I think the oldest one went to college.
I think it does.
What do you think?
I think it. Okay, so I think it does, and I think that being a parent gives you a different set of qualities that a childless person does not have. And just like I look to be like, you know, a good mom, and I look for men that are good fathers.
Yeah.
Certain men see all of the shit that people talk online is bullshit, because certain men do see and admire and look for women that are good mothers. Like, because you got to realize how many raggedy bitches it is.
Yeah.
So like over the holiday, over Thanksgiving, my baby, she's difficult. She likes to test the limits. She's like me. She likes to test the limits. She don't give up. Like, so even if you think it's over, it's not over. Like, if you tell her no and she sit down, that don't mean no for real. Like, she might try another 15 times. Like, she just sit down she just conceding for now. Like, for now. And me as her mother, I know this. So when I deal with her, it doesn't make me mad. When I show her how, when I care for her, other people can see how I care for her based off my reactions to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the same man that I'm dating now, he
Mm-hmm.
told me stories about, he was telling me about how this one lady, she was asking, like, she was all up, like, he came over and she was all up in his face,
Mm-hmm.
all up in his face. And, but her kid walked out the room and asked for some food.
Mm-hmm.
And she just all up in his face,
Yeah.
and she ignoring the kid, not getting him enough
Mm-hmm.
food. So finally,
Mm-hmm.
when she get him some food, like they did some shit where they microwaved the blunt. I don't know. They microwaved the blunt, and then after they got done microwaving the blunt, she took her kid some chicken nuggets out the freezer and threw it on a plate and threw it in the same microwave.
You. I'm so green because I never heard of microwaving a blunt. Like,
Look, girl, look, that's some, that ain't even no green shit. That's some extra shit. So
okay.
him as a man, he's looking at it like, damn, like your kid was asking for food,
Mm-hmm. And you got your blunt ready before you fed him.
You got your blunt, you all up in my face.
You're right. Yeah.
Ignoring your kid, and then when you do feed your kid, you don't even cook your kid. Like, you don't throw the chicken nuggets in the oven and be like, all right, like they'll be done in 20 minutes.
And the thing is, you gotta
you
have
throw them
it
in the microwave.
Yeah, you gotta have it in you, because my friend that I was talking about, they had a baby when she was in college. One time I was just with her one day, and she went and picked up her child or whatever. She got home, she threw some wings in a one of those what those things are, the glass little pan or whatever, with some honey mustard, and she put that shit in the oven.
But that's all you gotta do.
Wait, yeah. I forgot how she cooked the green beans. This was a while ago. But my point is, she literally cooked some real food in like 15 minutes. And I don't know how long.
And that's what you're supposed to do as a mom. She was
throwing that shit together, and I'm just like, damn, this is like super mom, And
but that's what you're supposed to do.
And she was.
And but you got women out here that will cuss their kids out for even asking for something to eat. You got, like, I don't like when the man I'm dealing with, he appreciates that I don't fucking cuss my kid out. Like, I'm not about to cuss her out and go in like she a child. Yeah. Like, so even if she's being testy, she's still a child.
Yeah.
So even if I gotta go step in the bathroom and hit the blunt and then step out and be like, look. I'm not gonna cuss her out. I'm not gonna go to that extreme. And you have women that will go to that extreme. So even men that appreciate a woman being a woman, those are qualities that they look for. And being a mom shows them that you have those qualities. A lot of women are selfish. A lot of women, like, you wouldn't like, and we know this. We've seen these. We've seen these things. You might have seen these things through like women that you were dealing with, where you like, damn, you got your kid out here like that. Like, you talking like where you feel damn near hurt by how they addressing a child. Like, you like, damn, like you damn near hurt my feelings cussing your kid out, and I'm sitting over here and you cussing your kid out.
Well, I guess she. It was, I don't know if I really had friends like that.
I'm not sure you had, like, but I'm saying just people in general, like,
yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I hate to see when a child is walking far ahead or far behind. That's I hate to see that. That remind me of this is veering off topic, but it reminds me of there was this little girl. Okay, so they were in maybe an Uber or something like that. They got dropped off at I don't know if it was an apartment complex, I don't know if it was a project, but the adults jump out the car and shit. Nobody's holding the little girl's hand. I think the little girl was like 4 or something like that. She goes around the front of the car. It's a SUV or something like that, and the man ends up hitting her and running over her. And then the people that, the other people that were in the Uber, now they want to fight. They trying to fight the man and all this other shit, and not even checking on the little girl. And my thing is like, okay, y'all all got out. Wasn't nobody worried about where she was. Nobody wasn't worried about, holding her hand or nothing like that. It's like, it's your job to know where your child is. And it's like, if
Right.
why would you think there's a little girl running in front of your vehicle? Who would think that? Which, I mean, he should have made sure, because I like to make sure I see the child away from,
But sometimes, depending on the car, you can't see. Like, and that's been documented. If
after they walk away and stuff. But my point is, it's like, then they want to fight. Then they want to fight. It's like, why do some people like doing shit the hard way? Which is why I feel like kids that grow up in certain environments, they don't be safe. You know what I mean?
But that's why being a parent isn't always a knock. And I know it make it seem like people, especially in spaces like this, make it seem like being a parent is a knock. But when you being a good parent, that's not a knock, because anybody that you're with, it like I said, it gives you a different skill set. It gives you a different outlook.
But see,
if you have the right mind and you're not fucking brain dead, you can actually, like, people actually show that. So the thoughtfulness, the awareness, the patience. Like, a man that's dealing with me can see that I'm patient, because he can see I'm patient with my fucking daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm patient with somebody that came from me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, if you can't love your own kid, how can you love anybody else? If you can't be patient with your kid, how you gonna be patient with me? If you cussing your child out, how you gonna respond to me?
Yeah. I think see, the thing about it, that's why I'm saying, kind of like, it's something about, like, okay, being a knock. Is it really a knock? You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, it kind of all evens out. Like, it all shakes out to be the same, like, whether you with the man or not, hopefully you're going to have some type of relationship, and he's going to have some type of relationship with his kids. When I say relationship, I'm talking about, like, as far as, what's the word? Communication. That's like, you know what I mean? Decent communication. He's gonna hopefully have some relationship with his kids. You move on with life. And the point is that you have a life. You've had a life. It's not about, okay, put it like this. I remember one of the Olsen twins, she had like a Hermes Birkin or something like that, her purse, right? And like a black leather one. And she brings that thing everywhere. They say she brings it everywhere, and it was all beat up, And I remember somebody, I was on Lipstick Alley, but somebody in the comments said, actually, it's really more like rich bitch to wear a Birkin every day. You know what I mean? Like,
that's how
got it.
Because if you look, that's how Birkins weren't created to be bags that you sat on a shelf and pulled out once or twice a year. It was literally designed to be fucking used. That's why I got all those zippers and lock on it and all of that. And the woman, and I think her name was Jane Birkin, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Jane Birkin, the model that the bag was designed for, it was designed so she can have a bag to carry on the go.
Right. And so that means she's actually, I don't know if it was Mary Kate or Ashley, but they're actually using the bag like it's supposed to be used. Like, what's the purpose of you having the bag and it's just on the shelf and you never got any use out of it? You see what I mean?
You just take pictures of it.
Yeah,
like, no, you're supposed to use it. You're supposed to break it in.
And when you die, you can't. When you die, you can't take the bag with you. So wouldn't it have made more sense to just use the bag how the fuck you wanted to use it? You see what I mean? I don't know. Like, I kind of maybe thinking of it like that.
I see two roads with it, just because I'm into all of that type of stuff. Like, because bags also appreciate in value, so I see that too. But if you bought it to use it, then use it. If you bought it to sell it, and you bought it to have it for a couple of years and to sell it, that's one thing. And you buy it as an investment piece. But if you're buying it to use it. But a lot of people can't afford to buy it, so they stack up money to buy it, and then they don't want to use it because they can't afford to replace it.
Which is why the girls say it's actually technically more rich bitch. You really a rich bitch if you could use it, like actually use it, like the way it's supposed to be used.
It's meant to be, exactly.
Yeah, that means you really got it like that. But so I don't know. Like, hopefully, I've like made my. I don't know.
I
Sometimes I'll
think
be like, huh?
you can go ahead.
Oh, sometimes I'll be thinking like, I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know if it's making sense to everybody. But like what I'm saying is, I've come. Okay, so I've come to the realization that um being in relationships, being married, and having kids, it's a part of life. Like, it's a part of our life cycle. Doesn't mean you have to do it. No, doesn't mean you have to do it. Of course, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But what I'm saying is, there's no shame in living life. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's no shame in living life. Like, if you have a Birkin and you've been using it, it's not gonna look. Okay. That maybe that's the wrong analogy for this case, but because I'm not talking about appearances. But
But even functionality.
yeah, yeah. But like, so let's just say my brother, my older brother, like, he needs to get his shit together in several ways, right? But at the same time, it's like his kids ain't running wild. You know what I mean? Like, his first baby mama is a nurse. They, they go to good schools and all that, and now he's married. Um, so it's like, in a way, it's like, okay, well, you probably shouldn't have kids because you just, you know what I mean? You kind of be like, I don't know. I'm gonna just say, like, out of all of us, he probably the last one. He's the last one that should have had kids. Like, as far as like financially and just maturity wise, I think. But at the same time, he's a grown man, right? And as long as he loves his kids, as long as he take care of his kids, as long as he spend time with his kids, can you? I mean, what's the purpose of being like, oh, well, why do you keep having kids?
How do you determine whether somebody should or shouldn't have kids?
Well, okay, so I didn't want to like go in, like, okay, so if you gotta call,
we don't have to use your brother as an example.
Yeah, but okay,
because I know that's close. But how do you determine whether somebody should or shouldn't have kids?
Yeah, well, so if you gotta call people up like a few different times a year asking for money, or your, you know what I mean, either for you or for your, your baby mama, if you got like child support cases and stuff like that, or like if you let's just say every once in a while you got to ask your mama for thousands of dollars so you don't go to jail for child support, you see what I'm saying? Or like you don't really have, like the job that you don't really have no career like that, you just I don't know, just different shit, like different shit. And that's what I mean. That's
but
but
you're breaking it all down to financial things, like, and I don't think that. I think that money comes and goes.
Exactly.
And, hold on. And with that, even if you had to ask for money for those first 2 years, if like I have my family, I'm like, I don't have to buy anything for my kid because it's already bought. Like, soon as somebody asks, is it needed? And I say, yeah, it's bought. Like, so technically I don't need to buy anything for my child, right? But with that being said, like, financially, things change, things go up, things go down.
That's what I'm saying.
But life is beyond financial. Everything doesn't rotate. The people can be great financially and not even have a relationship with their child.
Yeah.
So when it breaks down, I don't think that we should break down whether you should have kids or not based upon whether you making 6 figures and you working in your best career, because you can work up to that. It's been teen moms that worked up to being doctors by the time they were 35. And yeah, it was hard, but you go through that. And it's about what you teach and the energy of who you are as a parent and what you instill in your child. So I'll never say that, like, just because I don't have to front any money up to pay for my daughter's stuff because it's already taken care of. Like, it's already taken care of. Like, that don't mean that, you a bad parent.
That's what I'm kind of getting at, because um like my mom said, my mom, tells me several times a year, like, it's never gonna be perfect. Whatever perfection you're waiting for is it's not gonna be. It's not like that. You know what I mean? So meaning it's not gonna be like the perfect guy, it's not gonna be the perfect time, it's not gonna be none of that. If you waiting for that, then it's like you'll never do anything. Because
Did you
my
see the
parents.
movie Idiocracy?
Huh?
Did you see the movie Idiocracy?
Oh no. Let me write it
Okay.
down. I heard of it
All
though,
right.
but
So this is the thing. And Idiocracy, it breaks it down because this is how it was. So all the educated people tried to wait till the perfect time to have. So you have educated people, they're like, oh, when my career gets here, or oh, when he gets promoted to this, or
oh
oh,
yeah,
when we get
yeah.
this much money,
I
and
know what
oh,
you
when we
mean.
get this place, and oh, when we get this, and then you look up and you 45 and you can't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna freeze my eggs. Like, and then you have the other end of that spectrum
Mm-hmm.
where you have the
Yep.
lower IQ people.
Yep.
They out here multiplying.
Yep. Yep.
They out
Yep.
here just
Yep.
on exponential growth. Like you
Yep.
got an exponential growth of idiots, and then the
Yep.
people that are smart and the people that are capable somehow can't get together to create one, and you have the idiots of society out
Mm-hmm.
here multiplying at
Yeah.
an exponential rate.
Yeah. It's
So,
because. Mm-hmm.
but those genes pass down. So
Yeah.
it's not just about, you know, the fact that the idiots are multiplying. The idiots are multiplying and creating more idiot genes. And while you're being educated and smart and reserved and waiting for the perfect time, those genes, those intelligence genes that needs to be passed along are not being passed the fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
So then we hit a society where it's more dum dums genetically, where they're more genetically disposed to being dum dums than people that are genetically disposed to being smart and having a higher IQ because their parents with a higher IQ tried to wait till everything was perfect. And that's not how life works.
Mm-hmm. Well, but see, okay, but going back to what you said about money comes and goes and there are ups and downs and stuff like that. Because when I was younger, like my parents ain't have it like that. They sure didn't. You know what I mean? They both was educated and you know what I mean. And being together that helps, but they doing way better now than they were like when we were young kids. Even though they both retired now, but so that kind of like proves your point as to like what would have been the purpose of her, like my mom, waiting until later, wait until she was established in her career to start having kids, because my mama was done having kids by the time she was 32. She had already had 4 kids, and she said she heard about somebody having a child at some age, and she was like, "Oh, I thought I was old with this baby," because that was when I was way younger, and so I was thinking, okay, well maybe whatever age she had, my little brother was kind of older, but I'm thinking like, dang, I'm older than that now, and I can't imagine being responsible for 4 humans. You know what I mean? But that's beside the point. But yeah, I think that you do have to strike a balance. But this isn't so much about like career versus kids. It's more like being able to take that leap of faith, and saying, hey, whatever happens is gonna be worth it in the end, unless you end up getting murdered.
The leap of faith is telling that man to come in you.
Wait, what? No.
Telling that man to come in you.
You know what? I'd be wondering. I'd be sitting here wondering. I'm like, and then that's what made me think. Like, am I something wrong with me? I don't know. I just don't get it. But yeah, so like my brother, he has enough kids for all of us. That doesn't mean that we wouldn't want any, but at the same time, it's kind of like he can say that he knows what it's like to be a father, to be able to look at your kids and be like, yeah, that's my kids. You know what I mean? Like that's something that the rest of us we can't do, you know? So I would never say, I mean, I do wonder why he keep having kids. He about to have another one in February, you know.
Girl, my dad got 7 kids. I'm the oldest.
And
The
guess
youngest
what?
is fucking 4.
And guess what?
And
Oh, 4. Oh shit. Okay, I wasn't expecting you to say that. But guess what? My brother about to have 6 kids. And I'm like, what the fuck is you doing, bro? Like, what is you doing?
And my dad said, hold on. And my dad said when I was talking to him, because I got a little sister. My little sister, she is 8, or she's like 7. My daughter is 6. Like so they're real close in age. And then my little brother, he's 4. So they're close. So also close in age with my kid. And my dad, he was like, you know, like it was no reason to not have the baby. Like it was no reason to not have your little brother. So we had your little brother. Like it came up and that was the thing. And I'm not at a place where it's gonna be detriment, and it's not gonna be detrimental, and we can, you know, so we gonna take care of it. And my little brother was more, and he out here, you know, driving me crazy now. Little 4-year-old.
That's woo. Oh, you know what? The age gap though. That's what.
But he always said more life. He always said more life. And that was his belief in it. More life. Like,
yeah.
Like,
he gonna be running behind them kids like that?
Yeah, he do. He
do.
They be driving him crazy.
And my brother,
he got the 4-year-old. He got a dog now. They be dropping him with the wall.
Yeah. In my brother case, it's just like when my sister told me, I didn't even have any reaction. I was just like, well, that's on them. If that's what the fuck they want to do, then let them have it. But I ain't got like lady, like
but life and creating life and nurturing life isn't a bad
thing. Like it's like they gonna have to start splitting this birthday money. Like, look, I ain't got it like that. Look, I
got one. I got one. And Mama told me like, right. Ellie, you can't be having, like I said, like anything that she wants to get. And my mama told me, Ellie, you can't be having no more kids.
Right. This is like, okay, you was already splitting it, you know, saying 4 ways. Now you gotta split this many ways, you know what I mean? But she already had 2 older kids, you know, and I try to look out for them and stuff like that. But I'm like, look, ma'am, I'm not made of money. She just sent me that registry. And I remember the last child she had, like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I bought like half the stuff on that registry. And I was like, I was buying the expensive stuff. Cause I'm like, you know, stuff that, you know, niggas ain't about to buy, you know what I'm saying? So like, he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. You know, but now it's like, girl, like, okay, every month somebody got a birthday. So you telling me every
you know
year?
What? I got one aunt that's childless.
Yeah.
My aunt that didn't have any kids. To this
day. The ones with the money or the ones that got
No. She was married, and she married a man that had a son, and he had full custody of his son. She take care of those grandkids. Those are her kids. When things went bad, and when her husband passed away, and things went bad with her husband's son, baby mamas, they live with her. When certain things happen, like she looks out for those kids, and that was the same way with me when I was growing up. That same aunt with me and my sister when I was growing up, she bought us school clothes every year, bought us presents every year. Like my one of my other cousins used to hate because my aunt didn't get her the good gifts that she got me and my sister. But it's like, bitch, you got a dad and a mom. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And she used to do that because my mom didn't put my dad on child support. So when mom and dad split, because she didn't believe in that, she didn't believe in sending men to jail because they didn't pay child support. So mom never pursued that with my father. My aunt, even though she didn't have no kids, she made sure that me and my sister had everything that we need. And her stepson, she made sure his kids had whatever they need, and his baby mama got whatever she need. And even to this day, with my daughter, she makes sure she got everything that she needs too.
Mhm.
She
Girl,
called
yeah.
and she send clothes and order. I'm talking about every season. Every season. When
Mhm.
it's fall, she's sending winter clothes. When it's winter, she's sending spring clothes. When it's spring,
Girl,
she's sending summer clothes.
maybe one day I'm gonna have it like that, but you know,
But
And then that's the thing. It's
even
not like they got one or two. Like when he had one or two, I had them. Like even though it was before I really like started working,
but
like
but
real.
this
You know what I
but
mean? But it's like no,
yeah.
you can't keep having kids. Then she
No, no,
got
no.
two
But I'm
girls.
saying this is a thing that she's been doing for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm,
31. So she's been
mm,
doing this my entire life for me. And then when my sister was born, she did that for my sister. Like, and then when my baby was born, she did that for my baby. And then when her stepson had kids, his baby mama and his baby mama and her mama was living with my aunt, and he wasn't.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that reminded me of something real quick, but I ain't gonna go
But
there.
that it
But
sometimes it takes a village, and
mhm,
everybody isn't meant to be a parent, and every woman isn't meant to be a mother.
mhm,
But it's about how you support the people around you that matters the most.
mhm.
And if you support in the young children in your life and you doing your part, then you doing more than enough. Like you're doing more than enough. Just showing up and showing them. Like I said, like my cousin was mad and she used to hate that my aunt used to get us better gifts than she got her.
Mhm.
But it was like, what the
I
fuck? Like my
That
mama
remind me
was
of
a single
something.
mom and she didn't have nobody. She didn't even have my dad on child support.
That remind me of something though. I remember when I was younger. Okay, so my cousin, she don't have kids right now either, and she done turned into whatever happened to Baby Jane. So I don't know what she doing with her life, but so my cousin, she was the only child, and her dad died when she was a baby, and her mom always had money, and I guess she had a decent job. She worked for the post office, but I guess she also got like Social Security or something like that for her dad. Her dad was like older, so he died when she was a baby. But I remember I asked my mom one time. I was like, "Well, how come she get this, and this for Christmas? And for her birthday, or but we only get this, blah blah." And she was like, my mom was like, "Well, okay, but you have brothers and sisters, and she's by herself, and she was like, and she don't have a dad, so it's like, okay, would you rather?" Not have your brothers and sisters, and you know what I mean, dad. I was like, well, she didn't say my dad, but she was like, "Would you rather, have more toys and stuff, or would you rather have your brothers and sisters?" Me being young, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'd rather have more stuff." Like, you know what I mean? Because your siblings be working on your nerves and stuff like that. But that does kind of, now that I think about it, that does like, it reminds me of like just being in a home, and it's warm, and you and your siblings playing, you know what I mean, around the
Mhm.
holidays or whatever the case may be. You can't replace that. There's
Mhm.
no substitute for that. So um even though, like, that's, I'm not trying to really, like I said, I'm not comparing parenthood to however, money or whatever. I'm not saying, of course, it could be a relationship between those two things, but I'm also speaking of, but that just reminded me of what you just said. But I guess what I'm more so thinking about is, just not being afraid to live life, and
You have to.
experience what comes, you know what I mean,
You'll
instead
end
of
up regretting
thinking
it.
that you're gonna have control over everything and how
Yeah,
everything
you'll
turns
you'll
out.
end up regretting it if you don't. Because then, if you always live in the fear
Hmm.
of what's going to happen or the negative things that could possibly happen, then that will stop you from
Yeah,
living.
yeah,
And living
exactly.
is growing and
Oh,
experiencing things
hmm,
and going through things is you becoming better, even if it's not. Or it's at least the opportunity for you to become better. But if
hmm,
you're always hesitated and fear
yeah,
and hesitated and this might not work, then you're gonna live in a life of regrets of what if I would have trusted that man and had his baby? What if I would have, what if I would have took that route? What if I was a mom and I didn't, run away
yeah,
from being that man's, having that man's child just because I wasn't sure if he was gonna
hmm,
be here forever. What if
Mm-hmm.
I took the leap? Or even with men, like what if I took the leap and took the relationship that I had with this woman seriously? What if
Mm-hmm.
I really valued this person and I was able to be selfless and vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking from that? And you won't never know if you
Mm-hmm. You
don't,
won't.
you
You
know,
won't.
open yourself up to that. You can't, like for me, my love is vulnerable. My love is extremely vulnerable. So I can't be with a man that doesn't allow me to be in that vulnerable space. I need to be fully comfortable and crying to you and sharing my emotions with you and you hearing me in my worst spots. And it's not because like I want you to be like, oh, like I want a man to be like, oh, like Ellie's just going through it and it's just a sympathy story. No, because I want true love and true caring and true nurturing is you being able to be comfortable, vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
when you feel your smallest. When I feel my smallest, I can still come to you. Like when I feel my smallest and I feel hurt and I feel defeated, I can still come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yeah.
matters a lot more than,
So
what if this man broke up with me?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's a balance too, but it's another story.
And
But
but that's not that man making you feel,
yeah, but it's like,
small
can
and
you?
uncomfortable. But it's a comfortability and being like, because the world can put you through that as a woman. You don't even need your
Yeah,
man. Like the world can put you through, like through your career. Like I know you are professional, so even through your career, like you could be looking for a promotion and you just get completely overlooked and you've been fucking busting your ass and you
mm-hmm.
feel fucking small. Like you feel like don't nobody see you.
Yeah,
And if I know that you see me and you the person that see me and you see me for who I am and who I like and what I'm capable of, that's powerful to me. Like that means more than whatever the fuck somebody can provide financially. That
but
means more than whatever because
so
at the
wait.
end of the day,
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because at the end of the day, those are intangibles, and intangibles matter a lot, like a lot more to the human spirit
Mm-hmm.
than money and
Yeah.
gifts and just somebody being there, like
Mm,
a body.
yeah. I'm gonna say something about that in a second, but but what you said about how money comes and goes, that's true because um, yeah, like I said, my parents ain't always have it like that, and like you said, that time is over now.
Girl,
It doesn't matter now. Wait. But in the same way, I was just thinking like money comes and goes, and guess what? Hearts heal. Hearts heal.
yeah,
Like that
you
stuff.
move on.
A lot of times that stuff it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Anymore. It's like okay, that was that. That's in the past. But guess what? You still have this beautiful family now. You know what I mean? And it's not. Why would you ever regret that? You're never going to
Yeah,
regret
like
that.
I don't regret my daughter just because her dad treated me raggedy. Like I look at her like a new fucking day. Like if she's
Mhm,
beautiful, she's me. Like
mhm.
she's me. And when I'm around her, I see how she's me. I see my qualities in her. I see my
Right.
person. I see my effect on her.
But
And
and
even
guess
when
what?
we together, I see my effect of her knowing and loving her family. Like
Mhm.
even like me and her daddy ain't I ain't fucking with that nigga like that. Like we cool, but I ain't on that level with him where like I haven't slept with him in over 3 years. Like
Mhm.
we that's done. But even when we get like if we in a car together, like and we just sitting like sometimes I pick her up and before I drop her off, like he'll drop me off at home or he'll ask me, "Do I want something?" before he dropped me off. And let's say I order
Mhm.
some, I'm running a restaurant to order some food, so we sitting in the car in the parking lot. She'll get between both of us, and she'll hug. She'll have one arm around him and one arm around my neck and one arm
Mhm.
around his neck, and she like my family.
Mhm.
And it's like you absolutely right. We your family. We love you.
Right. And she's still going to be your family when you are in your 50s, you know? Like whether
And
you have,
he's still gonna be my family. I
oh,
heard he's still gonna be my family. I know that I don't have to deal with him on a romantic level, but we're still connected through her. So we
mm,
still show up together
mm,
for her. So when we're
well,
together, like it's not gonna be no arguing. It's not gonna be like, don't be trying to make me hold your daddy hand. Like no, like no, like we're
well,
family through her. Like
I'm
it's
look,
never it's not
I
that
hear
deep.
you.
Like I'll
I
hold
hear
the
you.
raggedy nigga hand for my daughter. Like, but bitch, don't be trying to grab my hand.
Right, right. I hear you with the positivity, but it's more like I'm more like, girl, I don't know. You know,
But that's something that you have to, like I said, you have to be a parent to see
yeah.
that,
But,
because you don't want to let your kid like imagine like my daughter try to be trying to get me put my hand in his hand and I'm snatching my hand away like.
I know what you mean because my brother and his baby mama, his first baby mama, they fucking hate each other.
But
And
that affects the kids, like
it
they
does.
said.
And it they was being real fucking immature when my nephew graduated 8th grade, and I could tell that story, but it's like, why would you put your child in that position? Like, I'm just gonna briefly tell you what this bitch did. Like,
Me and my baby, me and my baby daddy, we can go eat. We can go out to eat. It made us be.
girl, she act like she hate the ground he walks. She hate the air he breathes. Like, bitch, you're the one who had to. You know what? Calm down. Cause it's like, bitch,
But
as much as you
that's
hate him,
how it
huh?
becomes. That's how unresolved feelings become.
Yeah, but guess
Yeah,
what? She
but that affects your kids,
But my
and you
mom
have
said
to.
they act like, why, how you hate somebody that much unless you still want them. And his new girl, she like, I don't know, she feel like they still want each other. I was like, no, I don't think so. But
They
you
might
know,
shit, but
uh,
like I don't hate that nigga. Like I don't hate that nigga. Like
she act like she they act like they want each other dead. And it's like y'all both moved on, like custody, child support, all that stuff. But let me tell you what this bitch did briefly. So my nephew was graduating, and like everybody, like I guess every kid, they get like a certain amount of tickets for their graduation to give to their family. So they gave him like 6 tickets or whatever like that. So um my okay, so my brother, I guess sometimes he picked them up from school or whatever. Sometimes their mom picked them up, depending on whose day it is or whatever like that. But whatever day that he was supposed to pick up my nephew, she went and picked them up, and he brought home like the tickets or whatever, the invitations that day. And so so she is remarried, and she has a new child. I guess he's older now.
mhm.
But then they got my niece and her parents. So that's 6 people. Her husband, their new baby, my niece, and her mother, her father. That's 6 people. So this bitch was trying to take all the fucking tickets and use for her family. And so
That happens. That's what happened
yes,
with my baby
wait.
daddy with his.
So this raggedy bitch, I guess she thought like my people wasn't gonna come. I'm not, I'm not in town or whatever like that. But my brother still went, and my mama and my daddy, they went. And so I got a picture, right? They took a picture. It looked like the mom, her mom, the girl's mom, is staring directly like at them as they taking a fucking picture in the background. Like, she not talking to the people that she's with, because they was fucking mad. Like, I guess that my family showed up, but I'm saying this girl really hate my brother that fucking much. But they came, they let him in. They're not gonna not let him in. But this girl had my nephew tell my brother, oh well, they only gave us this many tickets, and then we have, we got to use for this person, this person, this person, this person, so I'm not going to have any more tickets. And so my brother was like, wait, so why, like, do that sound right to you? Why would she have used all the tickets for her family, but I'm your dad? But why would your stepdad be there but your dad not be there? Do that sound right to you? And my nephew was just quiet. But I feel like he's always caught in the middle. So I saw the pictures of my brother took pictures, like a couple pictures with my nephew at his graduation. And I'm looking at him like, why he looking like that? Like, he just looked so like, he didn't look how he usually looked. He didn't look like you're supposed to look on your graduation day. But then I found out, that was me not knowing what the backstory was or whatever. But when I found out like what had went on, I know that the little boy probably felt so uncomfortable with the fact that, okay, his mama family is here, his daddy family is here, they not speaking, they not, you know what I'm saying? It's
That's
just,
what happened to my
it's
baby
just an
daddy
ugly
on his.
situation.
That's
But
what happened to my BD on his high school graduation. So
yeah,
I know,
and
and for him, that
why
shit.
would you do that to your child at his graduation? What's the purpose of doing that? So like, what she? I'm not sure what the fuck she was trying to accomplish. And I just be like, man, if I see it, then you know what? I don't want to say too much.
But his parents ended up getting into it, and then they just ruined his whole day. And that was his high school graduation at that.
Oh my gosh.
Ruined his whole day. So that's another reason why, he's more mindful of not, making things, we not together. We not together. And that's bad enough because she's used to us, like our kid is used to us, to seeing us together. She's used to us being in the house.
But that's the thing. It's like they do things to show each other how much they hate each other.
Yeah. And it's
like they put effort into proving that they hate each other. I was like, why would y'all be doing that to your kids? It's like, how bad can you hate somebody like you literally carry two of his kids? Like, how bad can you hate him?
It's the spite. It's the spite of things out. And like I said, you gotta realize that at the end of the day, if you with somebody and you faithful and they not, or whatever they do, that you don't own them.
Wait, let me tell you what he brought.
They not a robot. They're gonna do what they gonna do, and you can't have that be a reflection on you.
Girl, and how my brother is childish. Wait, let me tell you why they broke up. Like the last straw. My brother childish. So she said that she had been feeling like unappreciated for a while. They hadn't gone out anywhere like in a long time or whatever. So they was gonna go out, and her dad came over to watch the kids, whatever, when they went out. So she said she got all dressed up and stuff like that. Let me just say it's a white girl, but she got all dressed up and stuff like that, and was ready to, and she see him, and he's like in his gym clothes. He's like in a because he work outside. I don't know if he still do, but at the time he had the big old huge muscles and stuff like that. But he had on like a white shirt and like some shorts, like some basketball shorts. And so she saw him and she was like, "So that's what you wearing? Like you see that like I got dressed up, all dressed up, and that's what you gonna wear?" You know what this nigga said?
What?
He said, "What you talking about? I look better than you."
Hell no.
He said, "I look better than you." And she said that was it. Like after that, and she said that she knew that was the last straw. She said she told him he got a month to get out. So, but he, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But
that's petty.
Yeah,
that's petty on both parts.
Yeah, but she said that was like the last straw. Plus, she said her daddy was right there, and he said, and she know her daddy was like really like that's how he talked to her, But I'm sure he did all kind of shit beforehand, but yeah, for that to be the last, I mean, sometimes you just be sick of somebody, and this is the thing I don't get. Like, I see how he is, you know what I'm saying? I see the shit that he do, and like the girls that he's been with, like like that person and the person that he's with now, they tell me the shit that he do, and I'm like, why would anybody even be with him? Like, this the part I don't get. Like, that's what made me think, dude, y'all really just be messing with anybody? Like, why would you?
Because not everybody possesses bad qualities, and just because you don't think that you gonna put up with some shit, don't mean the next bitch won't. Because the next
but
that don't mean that she's a bad. That don't mean the next person is a better quality either. So you might just fit somebody that you might just find somebody that fits your speed. That's gonna be put up with what you got to offer. Like, that don't mean they a better person. That just mean they willing to.
But I feel like this, as long as, and I'm not saying he's a bad person, you know what I'm saying? I just, I think he childish. He love his kids though. He can't nobody say he, what I'm saying, don't be there for his kids. Yeah, they went back and forth with that little child support thing, but at the same time, she's trying to, you know what? I never saw it from the man's point of view until my brother was going through it. Not to get too far off topic, but look how this is how he put it to me. He said he told his nephew, my nephew, he's, because I guess because their mama buy them a lot. Their mama, she's a nurse, and plus she buy, she got money. And her husband, he do tattoos and he do like metal engraving and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like engrave guns and stuff like that. So I guess they got money, but she's able to like buy them a lot of stuff, and I think he be trying to compete with her when he can't. You ain't got it like that. But he had to tell my nephew, he was like, well, I had to give her money every month for y'all. So like she's using like my money to buy y'all stuff. So that's why I can't buy y'all as much stuff as she could buy y'all. But not only that, that's true, right? It's gonna look like she's buying more stuff, but at the same time, that's because he's, paying her every month. But then not only that, he was trying to get 50-50 custody. And I think he had maybe 2 days, and maybe they changed it to 3 days. But he said something like he was being petty too, because he was like, well, if they give me 1 more day, she's gonna have to pay me child support, because I guess whatever. Or even maybe if there was 50-50, just based on how much money she make or whatever like that. But because I guess she, married, and because they want the kids to have, each kid to have their own bedroom and stuff like that. But it was like the fact he's giving her money to put towards her household to where she can have bedrooms for everybody. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like they're making a judgment saying, well, we're not gonna give them to you full time because you don't have a bedroom for everybody. You see what I'm saying? So that makes it like really not fair, because it's like you judging me based on what I don't have. But yeah, I can't do that because it's like my money is going over there. So I don't know. But then I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people be complicating their life, unnecessarily. But
I think women and men approach raising, especially sons, differently. Because I know, talking to my dad, he was telling me about how, how he be going through it. With my mom, my dad had his first 2 daughters with my mom. So obviously I'm one, and I got a little sister. And so my dad was telling me like how he didn't believe on spending frivolous money on his son, like on one of my little brothers, because that's not what men do. So he's not going to be buying sneakers for him every 2 weeks, because that's not what men do. My dad had to go out and earn the sneakers that he bought.
Right.
So he's not going to spoil, his son with just going out and buying Jordans or going and getting your haircut every week.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need your haircut every week. Like, you need other things and other skills as men. Yeah. And a lot of times with us women, we try to, get their hair done, get them with the nicest shoes, get them with the nicest outfits. But that's not necessarily going to make them the best man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I learned that through dealing with my dad and with him talking to me about that, because before, I'm like, what's wrong with, getting his haircut? Like, but he's like, he 17. He don't need his haircut every week.
Well, I don't know, man. They used to
not if he can't pay for it, not if he can't afford it.
Yeah, but they used to be hard on you if your hair wasn't right.
No, but that's the thing. Not if he can't afford it. So he needs to work. If he wants all of those extra things as a man, you have to work for that. You can't be given those things because then you expect those things. And with my dad, like, one of my little brothers, he over here now. Like, he over here now, and without all of that extra stuff, he's still over here. Like, his mama house, he be at his mama house sometimes, and then sometimes, he come over here and kick it. And he been over here for the past couple weeks. And my dad get him to school and get him home, make sure he go to football practice and all of that stuff. But it ain't no coddling when you come over here. And he know that, and he don't expect that, but it don't stop him from coming over here. He still want to come over here and be around his dad. He don't care about that coddling.
And my brother and his baby mama was so immature. Well, yeah, I feel like it was in competition. It's like he buying this, buying that, and it's like, why are you trying to compete with her? Like,
and my dad felt like And at one point, my dad felt like one of his baby mamas was trying to get more influence over one of their sons by being, buying him shoes and making sure he get his haircut every other day and all that stuff. But then like my dad, like I said, like that's not no man shit.
Yeah.
That's not no man shit. Ain't no man getting his haircut every week. Especially if he can't afford it. You need to learn how to make some money, little nigga. So you can afford your own haircut. Like,
or learn how to cut him.
But that's a skill, and that's something that has to be taught and instilled in your children. But if you don't instill that and you try to like put them up against the other parent and make yourself seem better because you willing to splurge money and essentially bribe your children, like that's not gonna make your child a better adult. If my child chose me over her dad, she gonna choose me over her dad because I treat her well, because I love her, because I let her express herself as a girl, not because I fucking buy her whatever the fuck she want.
Yeah, and kids like, gonna be closer to their mama. Anyway,
well, some kids, but some not all the kids. Like my little brother, the 4-year-old, he like being around boys. He like being around my dad. He like being around my little brothers. And even when he was like 1, he was not fucking with no women. He wanted to be around men. He was a little boy and he wanted to be around men. So I can't even use that as an example. Like, he just gonna be closer to his mom just because my dad be on his ass. But he wants, and he is something in him that wants and looks for that masculine energy. And even as a little 4-year-old, like he and even as a younger than 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, he recognized that. Like when he was really little, he wasn't even rocking with me like that for real. Every time I would pick him up, he would cry. Like literally, every time I picked him up, he would cry.
Yeah,
but that's because he wanted to be around men. Even now, like if my dad get up, like it could be me in the house, my little brother in the house. Like my little brother, like 15. I'm grown. My dad leave out in the middle of the night. Let's say like he just go out. It's Friday night and he got him, and my little brother go to sleep. My dad go out. My little brother will wake up at 2 a.m. like, where daddy?
Yeah,
and I'd be like, boy, go back to bed.
Because they always think they're missing out on something.
But he wants to be around his dad, and it's not because my dad is like spoiling him. He just he want to be around him, like he a man, and as a little boy, he recognized, my dad is a man, and he want to be around him, and my dad ain't the spoiling type.
Yep.
Like he not the spoiling type, like especially with boys. He might be. My dad might be harder on some of my little brothers than he is on me as a grown woman, and they still crave to be around him. They still want to be around him, and it's because he's a man and he shows them how to be men. Like he empowers them as young men. Like my little brother, the 15-year-old, he shows my little brother, like my dad a mechanic, so like he worked with cars and all types of shit. He showed my little brother how to change tires. Like last summer, my little brother was outside with him changing tires and stuff like that, and my dad was paying him. It's empowering him to be a man,
right?
And not just like, you need something, well, I'll buy it for you. Like, no, you work, you get out here, and this is how you get it. This is the skill that you need to get money. If you you can get money through changing people's tires. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it the right way. And then my dad would break, and then whatever my dad got off the job, he would break them off. Like, here you go. So they were making money. My dad, he be buying properties and stuff like that, renovating them. My little brothers be painting and stuff like that. He shows them and he pays them, so they work for what they get. So as men, they understand, like, I need to work to provide for myself. And and I can do that, and it's skill sets and qualities that I have to where I can provide for myself. So raise a man that's like waiting on a woman to do things for him. He's going to be pushing and doing things for himself because at 15 he was empowered and showed how to be a man versus coddled.
Yeah, that's, and what's interesting is I feel like my little brother is way more mature than my older brother, and my mama definitely coddled my little brother, but he got to the point where, like, if you're a boy, you don't want to be up under, you know what I'm saying, your mama and stuff like that. That's the difference between him and my cousin, because I feel like she's the only child, but I guess by her being a girl, she wasn't never like, okay, get out my face. You know what I mean? But at a certain age, a boy is going to be like, no, if he want to go out, he going to go out. Whatever he want to do, he going to do it. If he want to move out, he going to move out. You know what I mean? But I don't know what's going on. I don't know. My older brother, I don't even know.
Like my little brother in Virginia, like he a little bit different. My little brother in Virginia, me and my mama was having a talk over the summertime, and I'm like, I was talking. He just turned 21, and I was telling her how his extended childhood is coming to an
end. Yep.
And she brought that up the other day when I was talking, and she was like, yeah, she's like, he got a job, he working 40 hours, and he doing this and this and this. And she was like, I be telling my coworkers how you said his extended childhood is over. Right. Because even after he turned 18, he was still, taken care of. He was still being coddled. He was still being like, oh, you need anything? Or he didn't have to work. Working was optional. Like things were still going. If he didn't work, it was like, oh, I'm not gonna eat nothing. Like he just not gonna work. Like, well, my dad, if these boys don't put in no work, they gonna be eating noodles. Literally, they gonna be eating noodles unless I come in and I'm like, hey, I'm about to order some food, y'all want something, like they gonna be eating fucking noodles.
Yo,
but that's how it's supposed to be. And my little brother, he ain't never get that. So it was like whatever he wanted, he got. And then, like I said, like at my little brother at 15, he be over here, like he be over here working, and if he ain't got nothing, like he gonna be eating noodles, and he know that. And my little brother, that's 21. Yeah, like he ain't never had to eat noodles because he ain't work. Like. Because he was coddled and he was raised by my mother. So I think it's a difference. I think women, and from a female perspective, it's certain qualities that we can give our children. And not just speaking about male children, but even like female children, like that we can't, but men provide a different avenue and a different perspective, even on your daughters. Like I was telling my dad, I was like, yeah, Dad, I was like, can you drop me off at the train? I don't drive in the snow. I'm like I don't have experience driving in the snow. And I was like, Dad, can you drop me off at the train? And he was like, oh, he's like, you sure? He was like, I was gonna tell you could take the car. And I was like, I can't drive in snow. And then he was like, he looked at me. And I was like, bro, like you wasn't here when I was a kid. Like these things you supposed to taught me. Like my mom was gonna get in the car with me while it was snowing and teach me how to drive in the snow. Those are things that your father's supposed to do.
Yeah, I pretty much taught my damn self how to drive. My daddy probably took me like twice.
I mean, no, I know how to drive, but I don't know how to drive in the snow. And driving in the snow would be something that your father would teach you. Your mom ain't gonna hop in the car with you when you fucking 17, trying to show you how to maneuver in the fucking snow. That's something your dad is gonna teach you. And like you wasn't here to teach me that. Like those are skills. I don't have those skill sets.
I would be scared to drive in the snow.
So I'm scared. So he was like, you could drive my car to work. And I was like, no.
Right.
Can you drop me off at the train?
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm scared to drive. And I was like, those were skill sets that, like, he was supposed to be there to teach me, and he wasn't, unfortunately. And like I was like, he wasn't there to teach me that when I was in my adolescence.
Right. I remember when I got my first car. My dad, I think it was my dad, drove it home for me. I remember, yeah, because it was like I pretty much, I don't know why, like I literally learned how to drive in my first car.
even as me being my big age, I'm going in the room like, Dad, like, you know, I'm thinking about buying a car. Can you help me like go out to the place to buy a car?
Mm-hmm.
Because
no, I'm saying like I paid, like I did what I had to do for my own car, but I'm saying I needed somebody else to drive it home for me. That shit's sad.
No, but I even needed just like to be there to help me pick out the correct car.
Yeah,
because I never even had that, and I'm 30, but I've always had a man there. I was with my ex when I was 19, like through 28, 29. Like,
wait, say again.
I said I was with my ex from 19 to 29. Wow.
And which makes it, and that's why I'm like, dang, like that. You know what? Another thing I have an issue with. I say an issue with not cutting people off, but because if I cut, you know what I'm saying, if I cut people off, I cut people off. But it's more like I don't like. I guess it's different since y'all have a child, but I don't know. Like, how do you officially define the end? You know what I mean?
When I'm not living with you no more.
Oh,
okay. And I'm not under your house. We not sleeping together. I'm not living with you.
Imagine how much. Well, you don't have to imagine, but how much willpower did it take for you to like literally just be packing up your stuff and leave?
Girl, you know? That wasn't willpower. That was a breath of fresh. That was a new fucking life. That was a new beginning. I had went like when I tell you I was with that man for as long as I could be with him, and I exhausted every effort of trying to work things out and trying to be patient. By the time that I moved, and because I would bring it up to my dad about living with him, and my dad would like not take it serious. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, bro, I've been telling you this whole time. He's like, I didn't think you was like serious. And I'm like, yeah, like I was serious since day one.
Yeah.
And it was like, because I felt the effects of the strain on my, like I said, when it goes back to your health, when you are a woman, like when I know who I am and you know who you are as a woman, right? Mm-hmm. Like for me, I'm not somebody that's timid. I'm not somebody that's like reclusive. I'm not somebody that's antisocial. I'm not somebody that's like naturally me, just being me. I'm not withdrawn. I'm not quiet. I'm not any of that. Like I'm very much like I'm very much out there and maneuvering and working the crowd and working the party and chopping it up with everybody. And when I got to the point where I'm like, that's not even me. Like, I'm talking about like I was literally having breakdowns going to family events.
Mm. Yeah.
Having breakdowns going to my own child's birthday party.
But you held it together in front of him? Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, like I'm literally crumbling. Crumbling. Like I said, because that vulnerability in a relationship is necessary.
So what did he have to say for himself? Like the fact that he was messing around.
It don't even matter because like the things that he said were just not. It wasn't authentic. At first, it started out with, "Oh, I got a problem with this and this and this," and it's like, "Okay, we can work through it." That's why we moved. Like you remove yourself, get you in a new environment. You start your career. We got a baby now. We focus on our family. We focus on us. That was never a transition that I needed to go through in my mind. That was just a natural inclination. Like, you know, we here, and I've been focusing on you this entire time, and now we got this baby, and now I'm focusing on a baby, and that's as a family. And at the same time, for him, it was just like more like he was just selfish. Like he enjoyed me playing for his team, but it wasn't reciprocated. So where I needed support, because like with me, I know with my hormones as a woman, I know like when my hormones get out of order, I get kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As a teenager, I got kind of crazy. And I was going through it, so I understood like, you know, when I have a baby, it's a high chance that I would go through these things. So we had conversations and talks about this. And it was like, that's why we moved too. So I can be around my mother. I can be around like, you know, my family, especially my family that I grew up with. I didn't grow up in Chicago. So even though I have extended family out here, I don't really, a part of me doesn't really view them as, you know, family, like close family, because I didn't grow up with them.
So
beyond my dad and my grandparents.
Me asking. Where'd you grow
In
up?
Virginia.
Huh?
In Virginia.
Okay. Virginia. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily view my extended family as like a family, like, because I didn't grow up with them. Like, so even here, like when I went to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving, that was the first time I seen them in 10 years. I've been in Chicago for 11 years, like for 10 years. Like, so that was the first time I seen them since I moved to Chicago. Like, that's the first time I've been to their house since my first year in Chicago. Like, because I view my dad and my grandparents as family. My little brothers and sisters, like, they little brothers and sisters. And I didn't grow up in the same house as them, so it's not even the same type of bond and relationship there. So I was like, we can go back to Virginia, where I have, like, you know, my childhood best friend, where I have my family that I grew up with, my family that I'm comfortable with there. We can start over again, and we not even start over again, but we enter in a new chapter. We're not just dating. We're not just living together. We're not just in a relationship. We're building a family, and we're growing at this point. And
okay, so you felt like I don't want to say the baby was gonna change him, but
I felt like we were entering a new chapter, and it's time to.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Enter a new chapter, then it's just things that you just need to do, like
like as if as me basically saying, okay, well, before it was more casual, now it's gonna be more serious.
I mean, no, it was always serious, and it was fucked up that he was cheating on you, but now we have something. We have more to work towards. We have a kid, so we have more than just like your selfish things that you want to do on the side, and me being here and me doing all of that. So through me trying to be the woman that I was raised to be, because my dad is very much on the women need to be submissive and all of this stuff too. My dad is very much on that accord. And so that's the type of woman that I am. And it was just like, okay, like, let's try it like this. And I know this is gonna happen. So let's go with our family. Let's go move with my family. And at that point, he had met my family multiple times, because he had been to Virginia with me for holidays. Like, at one point I was bringing him to holidays for me. So he could meet my family. Like, he was flying out to Virginia with me to meet my family. So they had all met him and knew who he was, and we moved in with mom. It was like things didn't change, and it's like at a certain point it was harmful to me. It was preventing me from being me. It was changing me. Like, his behavior was having an adverse effect, coupled with the stuff that we knew was going on, like the postpartum, like the stuff that you can expect. But even coming to him, like, a lot of men be like, oh, like, women don't never come to us and tell them that they going through things. Like I said, vulnerability is a huge part of my relationship with me. So I'm going to him and I'm telling them, like, yo, I'm going through this and this and this, and they feel like that and that and that, and then that shit going in one ear and out the other. Literally.
So go ahead.
And when I asked them, I was like, bro, like what the fuck? Like, I'm telling you verbally that something is wrong, and you're not even like acknowledging it and paying attention. And you know what this motherfucker told me?
What?
I know you told me you was depressed, but you didn't look depressed, so I didn't take it serious.
Well,
what the fuck?
Right.
I can verbally tell you out my
Right.
mouth that I'm mentally going through it, and you gonna tell me that I don't look like I'm going through it, so you ain't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
exactly. Because they got people that you would have never known was depressed, and you find out when it's too late, you know?
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm verbally telling you I'm going through it. Verbally, like, hey,
Right.
like I'm going through it. I'm anxious. I feel like this. I feel like that. I'm explicitly telling you. And he said because he didn't perceive me going through a crisis, he didn't think it was a crisis, even though I was telling him it was a fucking crisis. Like,
Yeah. But so my thing is, like, do you think that's just how he's always gonna be? Like, do you think he's still like that? Do you see what I mean?
I do, and I think a part of him, like, he's been through his own things. He has his own like family trauma and views on things. Like his mom and dad. His dad was like whooping on his mama. He had a bad relationship with his mother. He don't even talk to his dad in 2026, in 2025. I think he cut his dad off completely last year. So he has a lot of issues with how he views family structure to begin with. So coming from a household of my mom and my dad were not together. No, they weren't together. They broke up. My dad and my mom were married until I was 4, and my mom left and moved back home, and they got divorced. But I still seen how my mom was with, like, or how my grandparents were, and other examples of healthy relationships, and even like how my stepmom and my stepdad dealt with each other for a long time. So even just seeing how they interacted and stuff like that, I understood what the healthy basis of a relationship was. But for him, I don't think that he really perceive that because of the childhood and the environment that he grew up in. Like, my mom didn't, when my mom had my little brother, she didn't like compare me and my sister to my little brother. Like, why can't y'all be like, but that's kind of like, he always grew up in an environment to where he was always the bad person. Like, or he was always deemed the bad person or deemed negative. And a part of him learned how to thrive on that negativity. He learned how to use that as a mechanism to push yourself and a motivator. But when you with me, I'm not gonna be giving you that negativity. So when I realized that you don't thrive off of positive interactions because you weren't conditioned to thrive off of positive interactions. You weren't conditioned to thrive out of love. You were conditioned to thrive out of proving people wrong.
I know what you mean.
Out of people talking shit and people doubting you, and then when I come along and I'm me and I'm uplifting you and I'm doing all these other things, now you don't feel motivated anymore. Now you don't feel driven to do better.
So do you think, okay, so I had touched on this a couple months back, right? But do you think, and this is why I didn't, like, when I was going to talk about this, I kind of didn't want to make it seem like I was coming from this angle of like black men just not being shit, because it's like my question is bigger than that. So do you think, like, just based on the quality of like what's available, do you think for that, well, this is okay, let me just phrase it as what I think, right? I think that due to the quality or lack of quality of what's available, that's why there aren't many real relationships. And when I say a real relationship, I'm talking about where somebody's not openly cheating, you know, with some people not having babies on people, you know, where you're not taking care. When I say taking care, I mean like financially, you're not financially taking care of no man. It's not a man that's driving your car when you at work. Like, when people have relationships like that, which is why I brought up Kandi and Todd, and I'm not saying that's Todd. Oh no, you fell off. But I'm not saying that is Kandi and Todd's situation. But was that ever a real relationship? Right? Can it be a real relationship if it's a non-traditional relationship, such as when the woman is the breadwinner? Can that be a real relationship? Maybe I'm being cynical, because that whole dynamic to me is a red flag. The whole idea of a woman being a breadwinner, that already throws off like the dynamic. And I'm not saying that let's just say in a perfect world you could make more money than your male, you know, your partner as a woman, and you could trust that he's with you for the right reasons. But in reality, like us living in the world that we live in, do you really accept a relationship where a woman is the breadwinner to be a real relationship? Meaning, is he really there for her, or is he there for her money? I just feel like it was like a 2% chance that he was actually there for Kandi. You know what I mean? And a 98% chance that it was about the money. That's just what I think. So therefore, to me, it was never a real marriage. That's just my opinion. Like, what do I know, right? But that was kind of like part of the basis of my question, as to like, do we have real marriages like in the Black community? Because if women on average are earning more than men, if these men are serial cheaters, or they don't really want to commit, so that means people are really choosing from what's available. And if they're choosing from what's available, is the result actually a real marriage? If that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably kind of rambling right now. I'm not trying to sound like super judgmental or like, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, because some people, like, let's just say if you marry a piece of shit, does that count? You see what I'm saying? Like, let's just say hypothetically, somebody marries somebody that you would have phased out after one conversation. You see what I mean? So then, is that a real husband? If you drive your wife's car, are you a real husband? If you cheating and she knows you're cheating, are you are you really a husband? If you're not really paying for shit, are you really a husband? Is that a real marriage? I don't know. Yeah, that's one part of it. And then just knowing that, most of these marriages are going to be doomed. Is it worth your time? Like, is it even worth getting into? Or is it worth like getting into? Is it not worth getting into, or is it worth getting into for the things that you get out of it, other than the fact that you eventually break up? What about the time that y'all actually did spend, if he was a quote unquote real husband? What about the good times? What about the kids? What about whatever y'all built together? does that make it worth it, even though it ends in divorce, even if it ends in like your kids growing up with y'all living separately? You know, I think I'm coming to the realization that it is still worth it, as long as it's a decent person that is going to take care of his kids. Because, you know, I think the bad times are going to pass, but you're still going to be left with the result. Like, you're still going to have positive memories, and you're still going to have your kids, and then you eventually have grandkids and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm about to call it a night. I might bring up this topic again in the future if I decide I have more to say about it. And maybe just to get some more people's thoughts on it. But it seems like people were probably leaning towards the realization that I recently had, which is, you know, life isn't a moment, right? Life is an experience. So yeah, life is a story, right? Life is a story. You know, it's gonna have good parts and bad parts. It's not like a moment of perfection. Different things come out of living life, and some of them will be bad, but if most of them are good, then I would say that's a positive, you know? So yeah, I think so. Anyway, in conclusion, I've come to the conclusion that even though a lot of marriages end in divorce, I think that people can look back on them sometimes, not all the time, but I think sometimes you can look back on it and think, hey, well, I'm going out with more than I came in with, you know, like meaning that, you know, I advanced in my career. We did this together. Now we have, you know, a house. Yeah, I might have to sell it so you could split it. But what I'm saying is, hopefully, even though the marriage might be ending, hopefully you guys actually accomplished something during the course of the marriage. I'm sure it got ugly towards the end, but at the same time, you know, you had kids, you still have kids with this person. Of course, you know, you're gonna, in a way, that's gonna be annoying because you're always gonna be connected to this person. But at the same time, even though that person's out of your life, you still have your children, and you'll hopefully always have them, you know, and then you'll have their kids. So yeah, I think that so basically in closing, right? Even though I've seen a lot of my cousins get divorced, they do pretty much all have careers. They do pretty much all have kids. So I don't think that it was a loss. I don't think it was a net loss. I think, of course, ideally you would want to stay with the person that you married and had kids with, right? But at the same time, like, it's not an all or nothing type of deal, you know? Kind of like when you're playing a lottery and you get some numbers, but you don't get all the numbers. That's kind of how I'm starting to think of it now, because I think before I was thinking of it as yes or no, or black and white, you know, just one or the other. But, you know, I think you kind of have to more so look on the positive side, if there is a positive side. And that would be, like I said, hey, you know, we did have a lot of good times. You know, hopefully the good times outweighed the bad times. And hopefully y'all made some progress financially, and, you know, y'all raising your kids well. And, you know, you can look back on the experience and not be too bitter about it. Yeah, I think that's a part of life. I think that is a better proposition than you know, I guess being afraid to take that leap. Yeah. So I was live for longer than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, if I actually gather my thoughts, then I might come back and speak more about it, because I think I spoke more about because I had two things that I wanted to talk about. One was basically like a marriage that ended still being an overall positive thing, like the possibility that is still like an overall positive thing even though it came to an end. That was one thing I wanted to talk about. Or like, is that preferable to basically if you never met this person in the first place or whatever? And the second thing I want to talk about was, are these marriages, the marriages that we are seeing, are they actually real marriages, or were they doomed from the start? So but anyway, for those that did drop by, thank you for dropping by, and I'm about to get off here and get ready to go to bed. All right, thanks you guys, bye.